I had never heard of Giallo before, not until the Bookubus brought it to my attention. And she makes it sound like classic hard-boiled whodunit from the golden age of noir, this type of stuff that established all the tropes. And I've got a bunch of that, but I didn't know it could be called Giallo. And I like tagging books as something. It's a Giallo book, yo. And I have a bunch of books by this author, Mignon G. Eberhart, that I'd never read before. So I decided to take a closer look at them. And indeed, Mignon G. Eberhart is a branded Giallo author with yellow paperbacks in the Montadori line. So I figured what better time than now to check them out. So this was the first one I read, The Cases of Susan Dare. I thought that'd be a good place to start because it's a collection of short stories, or cases rather. And I guess in 1934, Susan Dare was the world's most beautiful detective. Susan Dare, young, lovely, lethal. She looks like a fashion model, but she happens to be a super sleuth who could teach Agatha Christie's Miss Marple a few things. Yeah, no, that's debatable. She's also a murder mystery author too, Susan Dare, so that's cool. In the first story, she's attending a weekend party at a friend's mansion with a group of the friend's acquaintances. And there's some tension among these people. And one of them gets shot in the library. And the butler saw it happen. But all the butler saw was a hand with a gun parting through the velvet drapes and firing and then receding back through. But there was a ring on the gun hand, but none of the guests have that color ring. But Susan Dare figures it out. And when she does all this, she meets a man, a reporter, and this reporter man becomes a recurring character. And, Susan Dare, she often gets in over her head and messes things up and then calls this man and says, "Oh, I've really made a mistake. You've got to come. I'm scared. You have to fix this." And it happens quite a bit like that. And even at the end of the day, she's never says all in a day's work. She says, "Get me out of here. I never want to see this kind of setting again." And just comes across as really pathetic. And when you're calling Miss Marple out on the back of your book, or you're trying to write a strong female lead, I didn't get on with that one too well. But I continued on with the author, and this was the next one I read. And the bimbo in distress trope is strong in that one, which is, I guess, a common theme in all of her books. But this one was actually really good and had a very gothic feel to it. And it's kind of set in the publishing industry too. It's about a very rich family that owns this publishing company. But it was set in a big old house on an island, and there's a taboo romance, and the setting's full of shadows in the fog. This family consists of, I guess, the uncle would be the head, and he's adopted his two nephews, and they have a fiance and wife. And then there's sister, whose real name is Cornelia, but they only call her that like maybe twice. And sister's the only one who's not blood related or married in. And she is also works for the family's publishing company. But one of the members of the family who have the most pull wants to sell the publishing company. And the rest of them don't want that to happen. And of course, that person ends up getting murdered. And sister sees stepbrother Tom poised over the dead body with a hammer, kind of rolling it into the lake. But sister is in love with stepbrother Tom. Always has been since they were kids. And she just will not believe that Tom had murdered this lady who wanted to sell the company when Tom did not. And she just won't believe it, saying, oh, Tom would never do that. Tom would never murder Marilyn. Oh, this is so dreadful. And the uncle saw her see this happen, and instead of wanting to find out really who the murderer is, he's more interested in covering it up and making it look like an accident to protect his family. But he's concerned that when sister gets questioned by the police, she'll say something dumb and jeopardize everything and get everybody into trouble and blow their cover. And she's saying, no, I would never tell them anything. I will lie. I'll lie for Tom. He would never do this. And they're saying, no, sister, you would definitely say something dumb to compromise all of us. And she agrees. She's like, yeah, you're probably right. I can't lie. I would definitely say something. So their conclusion to all of this was to have sister marry stepbrother Tom so that she couldn't be obligated to testify against him. But this is all fine with sister because she loves Tom. But Tom has a fiance that lives with them on the property, and they don't know. She's kept in the dark, so obviously there's tensions there. I don't know. It was well paced, though. I really liked it. I thought that was a good one. So I continued with the author. I read another one, Another Man's Murder, and yeah, I read all of these back to back. And this one was different, though. It makes it look like it would be following another bimbo, but it's not. It's a male main character. And he's kind of getting framed for murder, but not really. There's some other stuff kind of going on there. But this one was definitely more of a slow burn suspense. And it was done well. It was good. Things were mounting and getting tense. And the ending was actually really dark. So dark, in fact, that the sheriff even says, oh, I'll probably lose my job over this, but it's better this way. I always wanted to grow watermelons anyway. Go home, Casey. Get some rest. This is your home. But no, really good. Like I liked those two. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 were good. So that's where I stopped, though. But I will continue with this author, and I'll show you the other books of hers that I have. So here's The Pattern. That's got a really cool cover on it. It says, "The characters come alive." On the back here it says, "The people talk like human beings. In a word, it's good." Well, yeah, I guess that would be good. Call After Midnight. It's like a mysterious voice on the telephone thriller. Or this one sounds really good too. Another Woman's House. That's got good girl with gun art on it. And it sounded really gothic too. Circumstances kept pretty young Mary Lynn in the house of another woman, a beautiful woman who had been sent away for a hideous crime. Against her will, Myra found herself falling in love with another woman's husband, and he confessed one night that he loved her. That same night, the impossible happened. Coming into the house, Myra and the man she loved saw an unforgettably beautiful face through the window. She had come back. That sounds awesome. So yeah, I would read more of this for sure. I'll probably put these away for next Giallo July. So yeah, if you don't mind your female leads being a bit coquette, then you'll probably get on with this stuff. I thought it was pretty good. And these popular library editions are really nice. And you can see they got the nice artwork on the backs of them. And the romance in these books is really upfront too. And the author had a unique romantic life. She divorced her second husband to remarry her first husband. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to the Bookubus for putting the Giallo in my July. That was really good. But anyway, over and out.